A city with 1,000 years of history is ready to play host to the future of motorsport as these all-electric race cars are about to do battle on the streets of Marrakesh. Alexander Sims will want to forget about the nightmare he had here last year. Antonio Felix da Costa takes the lead.
Here comes
Alexander Sims around the outside, coming into turn 7. Great move from the Englishman, and it's now a BMW 1-2.
It was Alex's second race ever in Formula E, and we both qualified well, so we were first and second in the race after working our way there. And I was trying to defend my leading position because I really wanted to win the race, and obviously he wanted to win the race as well.
Sims going for the lead. What are you doing?
They hit each other, Da Costa's in the wall and the lead is gone!
It's so easy to make one small mistake and then the weekend's finished.
I felt super bad, and him also.
And all the positions thrown away for Antonio Felix da Costa.
It was obviously a very disappointing moment for the team to lose the 1-2.
When a situation like this happens, it's complicated, but I have to be honest. Everybody had a small fault in the problem, you know. I had a small fault in a part of the problem. Alex also, the team also, and to be honest, we dealt with it in a really good way where everyone put their hands up. Okay, it was my fault, it was my fault, it was my fault. And it was the best way to just move past it.
We actually grew as a team quite a lot. We learnt a lot from that situation.
It's the 2020 Marrakesh E-Prix.
He's not your immediate image of a race car driver, you know, he's not the playboy personality.
He's quite quiet, he's quite geeky, he's not maybe as extroverted or as kind of flashy as a lot of the drivers.
I know he appears to be super serious and stuff like that, a bit geeky even, but dangerous, very dangerous.
He's super aggressive on track, he's a really fast driver.
He's the perfect driver. I mean, he's somebody that's truly passionate about electric racing. He's very intelligent.
Had a very methodical approach, very intelligent, made very few mistakes, I have to say.
Huge intellect in terms of being able to process what's going on in the car.
He's certainly not timid on track in any way.
What a driver.
We are just about set for qualifying. It's an overcast, cloudy day. That is Alexander Sims there, 18th to 5th at the last race in Mexico. Alexander Sims through the first sector, and he's going to go for a qualifying lap looking for his 4th career Formula E pole position.
Watch your brake throttle overlap.
Sims comes to the end of the lap.
Checker flag falls. Alexander Sims does a 1:17.830.
Solid, okay. It was a decent lap.
Yeah, sounds like a good effort.
In the end, qualifying was not bad. It was a decent lap. Not quite perfect, but yeah, I was happy with it, with the conditions that we were faced with. We had a pretty difficult first practice one. The feeling with the car on the brakes wasn't fantastic, so to come back and be 8th was a sensible qualifying, yeah.
He's obviously super passionate about the environment, the sustainability. I mean, he's been a driver of an electric car, I think, since the mid-2000s. And he terrified a couple of us at Snetterton one year when he took us for some laps in his electric car.
I can remember the first time it really clicked in my head. I was filling up with petrol for the 3rd time in 1 week, and it just occurred to me, like, this can't be the long-term future of transportation, you know, just filling up with petrol or diesel and burning it and doing it again the next day, blah, blah, blah. I got a hybrid car, a soft hybrid. It didn't really help very much at all, to be honest, in terms of my petrol consumption. And so then my next step in 2011 was to look for an all-electric car. I was fortunate at the time to get one, and yeah, driven electric cars ever since, and I really, really like them. You know, they're fun to drive, they're easy to drive, no gears, single pedal driving, it's really relaxing. Yeah, I mean, they're quick as well, you know, they really are fun, I can't stress that enough. And they're cheap and they're good for the environment, you know. It's not perfect, you know, we could all just live in our house and grow vegetables and never go out, but for living normal lifestyles, it's a good solution.
Alex's personality is masked with his appearance, let's say.
He's like a Jekyll and Hyde.
He can be really, really funny, to be honest.
I think the crazy bit comes when we take him outside of the car, and some of the stories we probably can't tell.
He's probably one of the most funniest and most humorous guys you can ever meet.
Alex is quiet, he's a family man, he's a great dad now, he's settled down. Back in the day, Alex would be the soul, the life and soul of the party.
It's probably best not to go into too much detail.
When you start the machine doesn't stop that night. That's for sure. That machine keeps on running. It's impressive.
There are certain situations at the end of seasons and things where it's easier to wind down and be more relaxed and let yourself go a bit more.
He's got a great fun personality out of the car, wicked sense of humour.
Alex has a very bad habit, and you know it's true, man. He loves to be naked.
Where have you got this information from, man? You're throwing me under the bus.
I have to tell him all the time, man, get some clothes on, and he just pretends like he doesn't understand what's going on.
Maybe I was under time pressure whilst I was getting changed, and maybe I was wearing clothes at that time, or maybe I was not, I can't remember exactly.
This one I didn't experience yet.
When I put the race helmet on, that side of me is gone completely, and it's all about doing the job and achieving what we can.
These all-electric race cars are about to do battle on the streets of Marrakesh.
Radio check.
Copy loud and clear, Alex.
All 5 lights are on. We go green in Marrakesh. Really good start from Da Costa. Nick De Vries has got away quite well. Max Günther drops back, but Da Costa gets a great start. Mortara goes up the inside of De Vries. There's a bit of contact. Can't quite get it done. A few crunches further back in the pack.
The line that I took ended up slowing down quite a lot. And yeah, some people got around the outside of me.
Collado defends. D'Ambrosio looks to the outside, and Alexander Sims in the blue and white Andretti BMW tries to squeak through, but he's not quite able to do so.
I was keen to just stay calm, let the race come to us. I was trying to be sensible with the energy.
Consumption currently looks good. We go to plan B.
Copy.
Oh, there's a lunge further back. Up the inside goes Lucas Di Grassi, past Alexander Sims into turn 7. Nice clean move. As Alexander Sims gets past D'Ambrosio and up into 9th place. Collado getting passed by Sims around the outside in front as well. Action everywhere, and Sims is through.
That's
into
a
8th
brave
place.
move.
Halfway through the race, pace was good and seemed like we were catching cars ahead of us.
Good job currently, PA.
What's the situation behind me?
They all have the same energy as us, but they also have used both their attack.
Had an issue at the end in the braking zone for turn 7 with Mortara. From what I could feel, it was a pretty light touch. I was very surprised to have such damage from it.
Alex?
I've lost drive.
Da Costa out of the final corner. He wins the race. And Günther's into 2nd place on the final lap. Max Günther finishes in 2nd place. Vern looks as though he's hit 0, so has Buemi.
Oh my god. Sorry guys.
Nothing you can do.
Oh, there was stuff I could do.
Alex just disappeared on the last lap, and look how disappointed he is, because he'd had a decent drive. He was up in 5th place.
It's really hard to take. Stopping on the last lap, obviously, it's massively disappointing.
It is Antonio Felix da Costa who takes victory in Marrakesh.
He's very different to many other drivers I've worked with, very calm.
I generally don't get too emotional about good or bad situations. I just enjoy what I do.
If you have an emotional driver in the car, that emotion then affects the rest of the team, good and bad. With Alexander, it's much more level, so it allows everybody to stay focused on the task at hand rather than perhaps get overly excited.
He's definitely less forward about himself than some of the drivers would be. Although a lot of them might pretend to downplay their chances, he just sort of keeps his head down and stays quiet about it.
It changes so quickly for the better or worse in Formula E. You just need to have one bad race, one bad qualifying, and suddenly the point situation can change so quickly.
He's the kind of person where we could get to London at the end of the season and he could be really quite comfortably in the lead of the points, and everyone would be a bit like, what?
He's one of the dark horses in this championship, that's for sure.